Movies must be censored because they can promote bad behavior, hate speech, and the influence of violence. Many people make poor decisions, and it's very possible that they did so as a result of what they watched on television or in movies. But some filmmakers never understand this, so they made some uncensored movies. For this list today, we are counting down top 10 movies that were released uncensored. So let's take a look. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 10. Purity. The silent picture Purity, directed by Ray Berger, was released in 1916 and stars Audrey Munson, who is frequently referred to as America's first supermodel, and she is bare-chested. The National Board of Review oversaw the film industry. 10 cuts from Purity, many of which featured nudity, were suggested by them, as local film censors had discretion over whether or not to adhere to the NBR rules. The outcomes were packed. Some states explicitly banned the film rather than allowing it to be edited. Others released it unchanged, completely ignoring the recommendations. Number 9. Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead features plenty of flesh-eating and is frequently recognized as one of the best and most impactful zombie films ever created. Even though some significant films were released under the X label, it was still thought that this would kill the box office, and many companies re-edited their pictures to get an R. Instead, the United Film Distribution Company gave Dawn of the Dead an unrated distribution. Number 8. Showgirls. Not everyone likes Showgirls, a film by Paul Verhoeven. It received the dreaded NC-17 rating as a result of its explicit depictions of showgirl society, for which it is highly famed. Because big cinemas frequently won't run films with the rating, companies usually re-edit their movies to prevent this. Showgirls defied this tendency and was released in its original form. Funny enough, a modified version that was rated R was sold in some rental businesses like Blockbuster after being sanitized for home video. Number 7. A Serbian Film. A Serbian film is among the more frightening films. Being a very infamous piece of work, its upsetting and indecent material has drawn a lot of unwanted attention. Even nations like Australia and New Zealand have outlawed it. The festival circuit proved challenging for a Serbian film. Later, the complete version was shown at the Raindance Film Festival, which billed the screening as private in order to get around the prohibition. Number 6. A Clockwork Orange. Even though it's now regarded as a masterpiece, Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange garnered a lot of negative reviews and stirred up a lot of debate. It had an X classification when it was first released in America uncut. The film was initially released in its original version in the UK as well. However, since it was believed to have been connected to actual violence, distribution was quickly stopped altogether. Other nations outlawed A Clockwork Orange because it wasn't censored there. In March 2000, it was ultimately made available there uncensored. Number 5. Scarface. There was the renowned original directed by Howard Hawks before Al Pacino and his well-known Cuban accent. The censors widely denounced Scarface, believing that the plot encouraged criminal behavior. It was necessary to make considerable alterations that significantly changed the film's tone. The majority of the changes were done reluctantly, but on a few occasions, producer Howard Hughes engaged in direct conflict with the establishment. Even though the state censors had rejected one version of the film, he showed it to the press in New York and eventually released it with the original ending intact. Number 4. Eternals. The first openly homosexual superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe appears in this movie. The tech wizard Phastos, played by Brian Tyree Henry, is married to a man named Ben. While there were many areas where this kind of inclusion was praised, there were also numerous places where it was bitterly contested. Due to the same-sex connection, the movie was outlawed in many nations, including Saudi Arabia and Oman. Alice Lyman, who plays Ben, and Angelina Jolie claim that Marvel chose to accept the bans over censoring the film for those nations. Number 3. Victim. Early 1960s revolutionary film that challenged traditional ideas on sexuality. It thus ran into a lot of issues with many cinema censors. In the US, it was treated with a similar lack of respect, and the Motion Picture Association's Production Code Administration effectively outlawed the movie. The distributor, however, blatantly disobeyed this restriction and declared they would still release the film. In fact, Victim was made available on February 5, 1962, the day of its New York premiere. Number 2. The Birth of a Nation. Due to its racial ideology, an alternative version of American history, and horrific images, this silent drama sparked anger on a massive scale. Due to their concerns that the film would incite racial violence, the NOC and several black Americans tried to get it banned. It was neither censored or banned in most countries, yet review boards frequently didn't pay attention. The National Film Registry eventually included it since it was the highest-grossing film of its time. Number 1. Schindler's List. Although Schindler's List is considered a masterpiece of cinema, there was some controversy surrounding it. Or so. The country's top censor demanded that intimate and nudist images be removed by around 30 seconds in the debate. Steven Spielberg, the film's director, angrily objected to these alterations and asked that the film be pulled from cinemas rather be edited. All of this ultimately prompted Fidel Ramos, the Philippines' then president, to respond. He disregarded the censorship board and asserted that viewers must be at least 15 years old in order to enjoy the movie in its entirety and as it was intended by the director. So guys, that was it for this video. What did you think about our video? Let us know in the comments section below. If you're new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching.